Hi folks, today we're going to make a really simple necklace using some tan colored suede lace and a raven's head and some other beads, but mainly the thing is we're going to use these big purple large hole beads that were on the strand for Wonderland, the SoftFlex kit. So let's turn down and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. It shouldn't take but a few minutes to make this. It's very simple, but it is really cool. So here's what we've got. We've got some suede lace. This is quite a bit. You need quite a bit because this is going to go over your head. It's not going to have a regular clasp. It's going to go over your head. And then it's got a knot at the back to give that extra. So it's about 3 feet because I've got it doubled, so it's about 3 feet of suede lace. So this has got to go over your head, and then it's going to have some knots in the back to keep it from sliding out of its slider. So the first thing we want to do is take our wonderful raven's head, and we're just going to go through the holes here, and then we'll pull this to the middle. Okay, then we are going to slide our beads over the top. Now these beautiful purple beads, they're large hole glass beads, came out of the SoftFlex company's Wonderland bead strand. Aren't those gorgeous? I love this color. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're first going to feed on these little beads. Now these beads aren't exceptionally tight, so they will slide if you want them to slide some. Then the purple. This big pretty silver one. Now this wants to be difficult because it's hollow inside. There we go. The other purple. And then this other little basket one here. Now, if you don't want it to slide at all, you're going to have to find some beads that have a slightly bigger hole, or you have to use a slightly wider kind of suede lace. Now, I don't really care if it moves around some because, you know, you might want more leather down here at the bottom, say like so. Or you might want less, like pulling it up pretty tight. But there it is. If, like I say, if you want to have it so it can't move at all, you need to get some slightly smaller holes in your beads. Now this one, not sure it's going to be small enough. I may have to find something different. Is for, yeah, I'm going to find something different. That it went in there way too easily. Because this is my slider bead that keeps it in the size you want it to be. So we're going to find something a little tighter than that. And we might even find something that's a little tighter to hold these beads in. We'll have to see. So after giving it some thought, I have decided I really don't want my pieces moving around too much if I can help it. So I have gotten a couple of spacers, which have a relatively good size hole, but not so big that they should roll around. So let's see what we got here. If we can get these through good, we should be able to. So I think the hole is big enough. But when you've got them tight like this, you just got to work them until you get them through. You can see it's just starting to show up there, the other side. So let's, yep, there we go. So now we'll just slide these babies down. And this one will be the holder for this side to keep it from rolling around too much. Now the leather has twisted, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's not really going to affect the necklace that much other than design looks. And I'm not worried about that. I actually don't mind a little bit of a twist look. So we'll put the beads back on just like they were before. But this time we can tighten them up so that they can't wiggle around, because we're going to have the other spacer on the other side to hold it in place. Come on, go through the bead. There we go. One side anyway. Now we got to get the other side to go through. There we go. Now we'll put our other spacer here on and tighten it up as much as we decide we want it to be. This side of the leather is obviously softer than the other side. It doesn't want to slide through as easily. So in actuality, what I should do, considering that fact, is put the thinner one in first, or the softer side, I should say, and then take the harder side, push it through. Come on, baby. Now we want to pull this up. Bring her down to the other ones. And then this wide hole spacer is going to hold our beads in place so they don't go wiggling all over the place. Now, it looks like I want it to be a little bit more space there so that they don't jam up too hard. So that looks good. There we go. That's all done now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go up here on this side, and we're going to put this last spacer here on the end. So we'll push the two sides through. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's awful tight, but you want it to be tight, because if it's loose, it's just going to move around. And if it's tight, you have the option of pulling it where you want it to be. So we're going to, now we've got this pulled through. What we need to do is even it up as best we can. There we go. We're going to push it down some more. And I'm going to put this looser one on as well. Now the looser one is more so that when you, if you want to tighten it up, or you can just take this and push it, as opposed to having to try and get that little piece to move. And then the last thing you want to do is tie an overhand knot in the end of your laces here, and that'll keep it from sliding off. Well, I said the last thing, but that's not quite the last thing I'm going to do. I'll show you in just a moment. Now this side is a thinner piece than this other side. I can feel it, but I think it's still fine. The last thing I'm going to do is take my little pieces where it's knotted and cut them at an angle. Like so. And now you can push this up to tighten it, or to loosen it, I should say. And there is our necklace all finished. And as you see, this one will move around more than this one will, and that's fine. That is just more or less for you, so you can use it as a push down thing. So there is our raven skull necklace. So those two spacers will hold this down here. Though if you wanted it to, you could still move it. And it should be big enough to go over your head because I made it plenty big enough. Yep, I can put it over my head easily just as it is right now. And for a person with a slightly bigger head, you just push that up and you can get a slightly bigger size. So there we go. Isn't that cool? Now you can use this same way of doing things with other things. I just used the raven skull because I had it. If you have another charm or something with a big hole in it, you can do exactly the same thing, just the same way. So there you go. There we go. There is our raven skull necklace. I think it's really cool looking. We used these big purple beads from out of the strand from the Wonderland kit, Wonderland Design Challenge Kit from SoftFlex company. Though I do have to say that the strand is a separate purchase from the actual kit, but it's made to go correspond with it. So I think it turned out really cool. Though this one bead keeps wanting to slide over to this one side. So, but there you go. There it is. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and again, we have been using the strand from the Wonderland Design Challenge Kit from SoftFlex Company. Just heads turned the opposite way. There we go. Bye-bye.